I got undressed and I went to the other team's locker room and I went in there. And I'm
just watching this all go down.
And I said, "Who's that kid?" I went in there. I said, "Who's the fucking kid that pointed at me just now?" And everyone's like looking at the kid, and I just grabbed the kid,
and they just started going.
And then.
Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to the second episode of The Boothe. We are back in here today. I got Justin Bofshever with me.
What is up, everyone? Always a pleasure to be here.
Yes, and unfortunately, we do not have Matt with us, but he'll be back on the next episode, so don't worry, guys. He'll be back.
Just working hard on his craft.
Yeah. So, actually, really quick, the other day, remember when we talked about doing the cold showers?
Yes.
I actually did it, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Bro, I actually, it was because you sent me the
Sorry about that.
Wait, no, step out. It's all good.
Love
it's all
it.
good. So,
First time for everything.
Yeah. So it was actually when you sent me that Snapchat, I was like, fuck, I gotta do this. This man's doing it, like I have to do it.
Oh yeah.
So I jumped in and bro, it was amazing.
It is. It's something you don't want to do ever. Every time I've gone to do it, I do not want to do it. And I think that's why I continue to do it.
Yeah.
So it's something we should definitely talk about. I think one of our guests that we were bringing on today actually may have some stories about cold showers. Not sure. But that does bring us into our next point here.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's dive right in. All right. So this is our first guest on the show. He's the owner and the host of the greatest hockey podcast on earth, was given the nickname Sheriff because his fists are so lethal. Future NHL star and someone who I consider one of my best friends, Nico Blachman.
Oh yeah.
I got a little clapping track right here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
You got some headphones on the table for you.
So throw these on.
This is a professional atmosphere.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous. I was gonna say if I was you guys, I would have started over, but I know how good both of you are at editing. No one's gonna be able to even know what happened just now. The huge mistake I made.
And even if it does, like all these little things, like we want it to be more of a conversation, so we don't really mind these little things. But I'm gonna show you again, like just so you can hear it. We got Nico Blachman.
Just a superstar. I honestly couldn't picture a better first guest to have on this podcast.
Me neither.
I mean, someone who you talk about grind and just dedication to this craft and to their sport. I mean, personal experience, I have plenty of memories growing up with Nico, and I mean, I always think of when it comes to Nico. We're living in Canada. It's probably -20, -30, middle of winter. This guy's like, Boff, come outside. I need some videos shot. I gotta work out. He's like, I gotta get outside. I gotta get the blood going. Dude strips into his shorts and just starts busting out workouts in the middle of the snow. Blatchy Fitness. Kids on his grind constantly. Someone who I think has never given up, and I don't think ever will give up. And it really is just a pleasure to have you out here. It is a pleasure to see you again. I've been kind of locked up with COVID, not having COVID, but just kind of in my own world lately working. Yeah. So it's good to be back here with the boys and just a great guest to have on.
How you feeling, man?
Oh,
I know the hockey season hasn't.
Listen. I have a podcast, 63 episodes.
I was gonna mention the 63.
I am so nervous right now. I had you guys threw a lot at me. I didn't know Buffy was gonna be here.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a
co-host.
A co-host.
Yeah.
So you guys, I mean, this is a crazy power duo. You guys are gonna smoke me after three episodes. You guys are gonna make me look like a rookie. So.
Oh my!
I don't know about that. Yeah. I don't know about that.
Though, but wow, look at this whole setup over here. This is so legit, boys. I can't believe I'm on here.
Yeah, we're honored, dude. We're honored.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Well, that's what I kind of took it after like Impulsive because I love Impulsive. Right. Shout out Impulsive. But yeah, so pretty much I was just like I kind of wanted because the whole idea is I want this podcast to be like talking about people bringing them in with their dreams and like how they're like so dedicated to their craft, but like for a younger crowd. So I feel like they do it really
so if
well.
this is for a younger crowd, then I'm really sorry about me having this shoe. I got so this is peer pressure. When I was younger, the cool kids did it, and now I'm super nervous. So yeah, that's what that is.
That's anxious. Well, that's what we're here for on this podcast, is to hopefully help people, in any realm, calm anxiety, calm stress, and just pursue their dreams and get after things. So
don't fall into bad peer pressure too.
Yeah.
I mean, ride your own wave, and
ride your own wave. That's huge. And I heard you guys talking about cold showers. That's unbelievable. You guys discussed that. Like, you guys had a little episode already.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were you guys saying about cold showers?
Well, so I mean, when I think back on it, and we were talking the other day, CJ and I, and when I think back on it, I think the first person that maybe had mentioned it to me was probably you a couple years ago. But lately I've been listening to my own podcast and listening to my own stuff, and found out some of the benefits. And I would say there's probably 7 that we went over on the last episode.
Okay, yeah.
But we would love to know if you do take cold showers, and if you do, what benefits have you felt from them?
I take a cold shower every morning as soon as I wake up, especially on days that I don't want to get up out of bed. I get right up and I go straight into the cold shower. And after that, if you have a shower that's cold enough, you can't go back to bed after. I mean, it just fires you up. I like it where it gets to a point where it's so cold where when it hits you, it's it's really hard to get your breath back. You try to get your breath back, and then you're ready to go. But for me, I heard that it's good for killing fat. Yep. So when I heard that, I was like, fucking right. So I'll kill some fat in the morning when I wake up. Fat. So yeah, the brown fat cells. That's actually why I use a brown towel to remind me of why
I love it.
Do you actually use a brown towel?
I love your mentality, man.
Me too, man.
I use a brown towel. So if one day I'm just like, why the fuck am I doing this? And then I'm like, oh well, I'm killing fat right now. If anything.
And those who aren't watching this podcast, if they're just listening, this guy is shredded. So talk about burning brown fat. This may be the way to go. Maybe take a cold shower, lose some fat.
Yeah, I mean, there's more to that for sure, but I think cold shower helps a lot. I think waking up early helps the same amount. I mean, waking up early and cold shower.
Oh boy.
Should I handle that?
Yeah, you should probably handle that.
Your car?
Yeah, he's trying to help. It's Buffy's. He's trying to help him out. So go ahead. Keep talking what you were.
No, I was just saying that cold showers and waking up early, I think for anyone, since this podcast is about basically chasing your dreams, and I know Dunny, which is going to, new name comes soon, is about chasing your dreams. So I'd say for anyone that wants to chase their dreams, wake up early, and cold shower is not mandatory, but definitely beneficial. So definitely wake up early, and I'd highly recommend the cold shower too.
Okay, so speaking of dreams, what's yours?
Mine is to play in the National Hockey League for sure.
Yeah.
Playing in the National Hockey League has been my dream since I'm a little kid, and I haven't gave up on that just yet, and I'm planning on doing everything I can to get there. And, right now is a tough situation because of COVID, but I think this situation has allowed me to mature and kind of recalculate and refocus and on my dreams and on my goals. And I've learned a lot through COVID and kind of looking in, and I've been reading books for the first time ever. I think before COVID I read maybe 3 books in my life, or maybe even 1. I might be giving myself a lot of credit there. And now I've read 7 or 8, which is not a ton, but I mean it's a ton for me. So never been a big school guy, but I'm all for getting better now. I realize I read it in a book recently, actually. Is that good? I read this in a book. It said, when you're not, what did it say? It said, dead time is when you're not learning. Alive time is when you're learning. And that's from The Obstacle is the Way, actually. Stoic book. Boffy,
Love that.
By Ryan Holiday. And I think that chapter was on Malcolm X. When he went to jail for 20 years or 10 years, all he did was read and learn. And he said it's the most alive he's ever felt. So I feel that's the key. I think playing in the National Hockey League, getting back to your question, has always been my dream. I think at one point in my career, I got kind of I forgot why I was playing the game, and I just kind of kept on playing. And I think now a lot of time to ourselves. COVID has really helped me dig deep into like, hey, like, fuck, I'm 22 years old. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, am I gonna do this or am I not gonna do this?
Yeah.
And I decided that I'm gonna do this. So I think like ever since then, it's just like hopping on the ice with or anything you do, but for me it's hopping on the ice with an intention, like not just going out there to practice, but going out there to get better at something. And when you set an intention, it just changes everything, I think.
Yeah. And now to go off that, Buffy, you had a good question pretty much going off.
Yeah, definitely. And sorry if you saw me leave for a second. We had something to deal with there, so I did miss the first question that was asked here.
That's gonna be fucking perfectly edited out.
Yeah, you guys probably have no idea what I'm even talking about. But getting back into things, I would say this podcast has a lot to do with people trying to reach success and just kind of going after their dreams. And I would say personally, like the first way to succeed or to find those or to accomplish those goals would be like to define success for you. So like I would like to know how you would define the word success.
For me, success is and it's not so much loving what you do every day, but doing what you love every day, even if the paycheck isn't there yet, if that makes any sense. Like for me, if I can relate it perfectly to my situation because I've thought about it for myself a lot.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like if I can live every day like a professional right now, for example, if my goal is to play in the National Hockey League, then my goal is basically to wake up every day and my job is to take care of my body, do everything I can to perform at the highest level. And, everything, including eat clean, work on what I'm lacking on and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's basically my dream. My dream is not, if my dream was to be a millionaire, then my dream was to be a millionaire. But my dream is to play in the National Hockey League. So if that's my dream, then my dream is for hockey to be my life, essentially. So for me, success is living your dream every day, which is why now I always say, like, for me, I wouldn't want to get a job right now and save up money because I'd rather train every single day and not have money because I'm living my dream. So literally, even if the paycheck isn't coming in yet and I'm not technically on that NHL contract or NHL team, I'm living like a professional every day.
Yeah. So would you consider like your hockey career as of right now, from what you said, a success?
Oof, that's a really tough question. I'd say it's a success in the sense that now I'm about to go into my first professional year, and everything that I've learned is from the mistakes that I was able to make throughout my career. Yeah. And I feel like that's really prepared me and matured me to be the best professional that I'm going to be in my rookie season. I think that in that sense, it's a success. If you ask 6-year-old Nico, is my hockey career a success? He'd say, am I in the NHL? So, you can look at it two ways. I think now I can dissect it and see like, hey, I obviously made a lot of mistakes and I was a kid. So, but I'm not going to give myself that excuse, and I own my mistakes. And I think it's great that they happened before pro. I think I've made some big mistakes for a young guy that young guys don't usually make, but I think that's allowed me to prevent that from happening again, because now I've really been able to learn from those mistakes already before going into professional hockey.
And you're playing pro hockey now?
So yeah, I mean, I'm not playing pro hockey right now, unfortunately. So after last season, I signed in the Southern Professional Hockey League, which is pro. It's under the East Coast Hockey League, which is where I really want to be, and
not a big deal.
Where I really want to start. Yeah. well, it's where I want to be, right? So I'd play anywhere. I just want to work my way up. But the thing is that my contract got terminated when COVID happened because that team opted out for the season. So a lot of teams cut down. There's a lot of guys that don't have jobs right now that are sitting at home and training. And it sucks right now, but I guess that's how it is for everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully I'll get a new contract soon, and be able to play. But if not, worst case scenario, I'm ready to just keep training, being a professional every day. And if I have to wait till next season, it is what it is. I'm gonna get better every day, so it's just more time to get better. If you look at it that way, then that's the Dunny lifestyle, baby.
We love that little shout out.
Yeah, man. So going through all this though, like what keeps you so motivated? What keeps you chasing this dream?
I'm not gonna say that I'm like this every day. I actually just this past Monday I got really back into my mindset. I think mindset is the biggest thing. If you can have a mindset, if you can have consistency in your mindset, then you're golden, because mindset is why, right? So a couple months back, when we were deep into COVID, that's when I really got into all this, when I started reading and whatnot. And I almost forgot your question, but the why keeps me motivated. The why keeps me motivated. It's not so much motivation. A lot of times I don't want to do the shit that I do. I actually created a new rule for myself on Sunday night, which haven't broke, don't plan on breaking at all. We'll see if it lasts forever, but indefinitely, I never want to wake up after 6 a.m. I never want to wake up after 6 a.m. So I like to wake up at 4 a.m. And when I decided to go all in on my dream, like in the beginning of COVID, I was waking up 4 a.m. every single morning, and I was going to bed at 8:30 p.m. and everything was hockey. Social
media was off. I remember that.
No social media, nothing, just hockey. And it was actually, so it was amazing, and I loved it. And somehow I just kind of, I got wired off. I had a camp date, tryout date, and then it turned out getting kind of vanished. So when you have a set date and you're looking forward to it and then it goes away, well then I guess you can say I lost motivation, but really I lost my why. I was like, why the fuck am I doing all this if I don't have a camp upcoming? Well then recently I was came back to it, and I was like, why am I doing this? Well, because if I get better every single day, the further the camp, better. I'm just gonna be better. You know what I mean? So that's how I started looking at it, and that's why I hopped back on all of this, and I'm deep in now. So I think the biggest thing is finding your why. Why am I doing everything? I'm doing everything to play in the National Hockey League. Obviously, I know the steps. I know it's you can climb your way up, Southern Pro, East Coast, AHL, whatever. I know that I sound crazy saying it to a lot of people, but a lot of people sound crazy saying their dreams. You know what I mean? So if it happens, come back to this pod.
When it happens, you come back to this pod and come check it out.
Yeah, I like that. I fucking love you guys. But no, seriously, if you have a dream, then waking up early should be pretty easy. Some days it's not, and you're like, fuck. I kind of have all day. I can wake up later and get it all done anyway. But you'd be surprised how much more you can do. When I wake up at 6 a.m., I write so much shit on my board, of everything that I have to do, and
it gets the momentum.
I'm done, and then I'm like, fuck, man, I should probably do something more.
Yeah, I think that just builds your momentum. You start off early in the morning. I always see you starting off with a walk or a run, or you're being active early. You got your cold shower. You're immediately starting your day off with that positive momentum, and I think that carries throughout your day and throughout your life. And anyway, negative or positive, energy is going to just, feed off of each other. So starting that day with a win, I would say would help you and help anyone proceed through their day winning and through their life just kind of winning and whatever they need to succeed.
Yeah, I think there's people that are night people and people that are morning people.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a very morning person. I think I'm my best self in the morning. So when I wake up in the morning, that's when I get my shit done. And I like to wake up at 4 a.m. because I like nobody to be awake.
Yep.
I like like to feel like a savage. It makes you feel like a savage, you know. And I live in an apartment building, so I'll go to my balcony and I'll just look at all the building in front of me.
Definitely,
it's a nice neighborhood.
It's beautiful.
These are
it is beautiful.
Successful people, and I see all the lights off, and I'm like, fucking right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I'm like that too. I love waking up early in the morning, especially because every time I wake up late, it feels like my day goes by like that.
It's crazy.
It's gone.
Yeah, and then you feel like you have to stay up later to like fit your whole day in, and then it's that constant like it just follows, and you just keep staying in a pattern that you need to take that first step to break.
My pits are so sweaty.
Nah, bro,
you're doing
awesome.
Sound great. Yeah, you sound awesome, professional.
Which is funny, man, because this is like ours, like.
This is your 64th. Sorry to yell, but this is your 64th podcast.
Yeah,
I was listening to the Buzz earlier today on my 63rd. Some great stories.
That's a good one.
I mean, for those listening who are hockey fans, or even if you just want to feel like you're part of a locker room again, like hop onto the Buzz Pod. They got a good logo. They got some nice hats.
Yeah, we all got the hats on today.
Thanks, boys.
It's just you get to interact and hear some really cool stories from the boys, and maybe some experience that you would remember.
Yeah.
But I got a question to follow up the point earlier about like success, because we're talking about that, and we're talking about setting goals and, you know, working your daily life to reach those goals. And I think a lot of people during that time kind of lose track of things and maybe lose their happiness. So I would say, would you try to define your happiness off of reaching those goals? Or would you define your happiness off something else? Like, are you currently happy with your life?
Yeah, I'm very happy with my life. If you would have asked me that 2 weeks ago when I was slacking off and going out, no, I wasn't happy with my life. But that's what happiness is to me, you know, because if you're doing what you love, like for me, what makes me happy is being a hockey player.
Yeah.
You know, I cannot imagine introducing myself to somebody and saying, I'm a fucking
anything
whatever.
Else.
Yeah. Anything other than I'm a hockey player won't roll off my tongue.
Or the sheriff.
Yeah. Or I'm the sheriff. Won't roll off my tongue. So for me, that's what makes me happy. So when I feel like I'm doing everything right to be the best hockey player I can be, that's when I'm my happiest.
And it wouldn't really matter necessarily what level you're at doing that. Anyone listening, or for yourself included, like at the level you're at, even if you're not on a team right now, like I would say to that point, don't base your, like you're saying, don't base your happiness off of your like really important goals to reach. Base them off of the fact that you're living the life to achieve those goals. Kind of live your life in the mindset of the now and enjoy the journey, and those goals and things will come.
Yeah. And it's crazy how much the mindset is so important, because like and I say this all the time, like when I first did this months ago, like got really deep. Now I'm doing it again and I already feel it coming back. Like it takes 3 or 4 days of just locking in, and you just start to believe. Like it's insane the way it works, like how your belief grows based off your actions.
Yeah.
Like if you fucking do the shit that you know you have to do to get to the next level, you will just start to believe that you can go to the next
just
level.
Manifesting.
Whereas like if you know you want to play in the NHL, but like you're hanging out with your friends all the time, doing nothing, going out all the time, like not waking up early, not doing a workout every single day, or not going as hard as you can every single day, and not consciously getting better every single day, then you know that you're a fraud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you know that when you introduce yourself as a hockey player, it's like, well, are you? Like what
you want those goals, but you don't want the
yesterday?
Actions.
Yeah. So that's how I look at it. Like for me, happiness is like, if you actually want to do something, like if I actually didn't want to play in the NHL, then waking up early to be a hockey player would fucking suck.
Yeah. For
but
anyone else.
If you actually want to do it, then just like be it. You don't have to be in the NHL to be a professional. I had a coach say to me one time, any league you're in, make it your NHL.
Yeah.
When you get there, you already have all the habits you want to have. Like I've been practicing with a U16 team down here 2 times a week. And a lot of people would say, fuck, man, wouldn't that make you worse? Well, yeah, it would make me worse if I played down to their level. But if you just fucking go all out every time, if you practice at full speed every time you practice, you'll be able to play at full speed.
So you're out there dangling all of them.
I don't dangle, you know. I actually play my game. I take them wide, and
that's great.
It's very, it's so funny. I feel like an idiot sometimes, like taking a 15-year-old girl. 'Cause sometimes there's girls out there.
Really?
Yeah, there's 2 girls actually, and you know they're not bad for their
probably
age.
beasts.
But yeah, they play for the Alliance, AAA. So there's 2 girls out there. Sometimes I end up going against a 15-year-old girl. I'm a 22-year-old guy. I'm taking her wide, burying, and I'm like,
oh boy.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But I sell these.
You're training her though. You're helping her out because.
Yeah, no. I mean, the kids love having me out there. I like to think I try to help them out a little bit, give them some pointers. Some of them are bigger than me. Honestly, it's so surprising how big these kids are nowadays. But
they still play the body at U16 AAA, right?
Did they change it? I heard
they were trying to change some things, man.
I'm not playing the body out there, so I don't know.
Yeah, but are they playing the body?
No. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they are in the games, but I just don't think they're.
Just click the circle in the center.
I don't think they're a physical team in practice. I guess I didn't see too much physicality yet.
So I have a question that's a little deep, and like I always wanted to ask. I always wanted to know this, and this kind of goes along the lines of like those moments of like finding your why and like wanting to quit. Like Toronto. That was a rough period. And I wanted, like, what was going on through your head when you saw, like, all 3 of us, you, me, and Kyle, were going up there to get drafted, and then you didn't. Yeah. Like, what was going through your mind at the time? Like, what? And in hindsight, you made it the furthest.
Yeah. And I'm not done yet. But
exactly.
I think, that's a good question, dude. And I just got goosebumps thinking of just that whole year. And that was one of my, and you know, when I look back on years now, it's so funny that I only remember the good things until I really like look back and dissect.
Yeah.
It's like I remember fucking blasting Drake in the Range Rover with the LED lights under the car, pulling up to school, murdered out Rover. We were always late pulling in. With
Cardi.
With Uncle Cardi. Dude. Toronto for me was a great experience in terms of lessons learned, but yeah, it was very tough. Coming from Florida, I find we don't know what we want to do, whether it's D1 or Major Junior, which is a big reason why I started my podcast. But Major Junior and D1, that's a big thing. That's like what everyone, when you turn like 14, 15, you play hockey, that's like, fuck, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? So for us, I guess all 3 of us decided we wanted to play Major Junior. I kind of knew after Shattuck that I wanted to play Major Junior just because I was playing with guys like Clayton Keller, who had like 163 points in 50 games that year, and I had 25. So I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should try fighting, and you can't do that in college.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll go Major Junior. So the next year we went to Toronto, and we you know, the coach over there fed me some lunch, and I ate it all, and I thought like, you know, it was all going to be sunshine and rainbows. And I got there, and you know, I don't remember exactly how it went looking back on it, but I think one thing led to another, and I was bouncing around teams, and it was just tough. And it was my OHL draft year, and for me, the OHL draft held a huge
wait, sorry, it just stopped recording, right? Perfect.
How do we know where it stopped recording?
Just go back over the
Toronto. Start over.
No. That last part that you were just talking about.
So for me, the OHL draft was very important to me because I loved my time at Shattuck, and when I left there, I decided that it was because I wanted to go to Canada and play in the Ontario Hockey League. So when I didn't get drafted, that really pierced my heart, honestly. Like, I was living with you guys, as you mentioned, and both of you guys were drafted in the OHL.
You weren't there, though, right? Weren't you home at that time?
No, I went home, and actually, I went home because it was just, like, a really bad season for me, honestly. Yeah. Like, I think I played 6 games with the team that I was supposed to be with all season, and then I moved up to the U18 team, you remember?
Yeah,
and then
for peak, right?
Yeah, and then No, and for the Toronto Red Wings, I played a couple games U18 team with those.
Oh
older guys.
yeah, you and Kyle both did. Yeah.
So I played up there, and I played for Peak a little bit, and then we had a little incident on one of the road trips at Peak in Quebec where some of the younger boys went out and we weren't supposed to. So got in a little bit of trouble there, just being a young idiot. But yeah, in hindsight, like I wish I would have not made so many mistakes, and I wish that year could have gone better. Obviously, I wish I could have gone drafted in the Ontario Hockey League. But it's crazy the way things work. Like, after that year, I decided, you know what, maybe Major Junior isn't for me. And then I went and I ended up getting a Division I scholarship, and then I ended up getting a Major Junior opportunity. And I guess I was like, fuck, low-key, always wanted to do this. Yeah. So I went Major Junior, and I ended up having a nice little career, I'd say. How
much money did you make?
You don't make any money, and that's actually, like, it's crazy. I thought I was going to be a millionaire playing, and you make $80 a week as a rookie. And
wow.
I think you continue, and you get paid like $60 a week extra for gas. And I think you continue, but you know what, it ends up adding up for a little 16, 17.
You don't even have a car at that point anymore.
No, I had a car. Car. Yeah. And so then, yeah, it's only $80 a week. It's fucking nothing. But
you think it's more? That's crazy.
Yeah, if you're a 20-year-old, you get paid like $250 a week.
Oh shit!
Wow, a little.
Which is surprising.
They only allow 3 though, right?
They only allow 3. Yeah, that's.
You better be pretty special, but not special enough to be in the NHL yet.
Yeah. But that's the thing. That's what's crazy. I guess they're doing it because I guess they're almost on their way out, making want to feel a little better. Like, I feel like they want to get more money to, like, the up-and-coming rookies that are going to kill it. Like,
no, because if you're a really good player in the queue at 19, you can either, let's say, go to the Coast or the American, or have a sick year and maybe get a show deal. But what if you have a bad year and then you don't have your American or Coast deal? Yeah, that's the way they look at it. But then it's like, am I gonna go to the queue and make $80 a week, or am I gonna go to the Coast and make $250 or $500 a week? $400 a week. Whatever.
So they're trying to give them an incentive to come play.
Because the good players can go to the Coast or the A probably.
Yeah. And what, the good players are like around 19, 20? Is that like usually like?
Well, yeah. I mean, no, there's always young studs in that league, but I'd say like the veterans run the show.
But so back to, I know we went on a little off there, but when we like back to that, like what was going through your mind? Like, how did you how did you tell yourself, I'm gonna keep fucking going?
Because like that probably had to be one of your low points.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really tough. But I think, I don't really remember, but I think that summer. Here's the thing about me is I always say my off seasons are where I build my confidence. And I always say on my podcast that hard work builds confidence. Like, if you put in the work, like, you're confident that you're going to do well. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. So I fucking love hockey. So I wasn't gonna quit hockey. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that. Like I never thought about like, oh, I'm done playing because I didn't get drafted in the OHL. I just thought like I would read all the tweets that people send out that say, for those who didn't get drafted, I was never drafted, and I played. And I would just scroll through those, and I'll be like, fuck, hopefully this is me one day. Yeah. And I never actually sent out one of those tweets. I will next season. I will next season around the draft.
So you would say definitely will. It would more or less be your perception on the scenario then. Like, no matter what, like, the scenario was for most people, they would say, I didn't get drafted. Like, this might be a sign to give up here. Like, I guess I'm not good enough. But for your case and the other side of the picture, you said the complete opposite. Like, this is just my chance to prove myself right or prove other people wrong and like show that I am good enough. And people really missed out. Like, you look at Tom Brady, talk about Tom Brady, big game tomorrow. But you look at Tom Brady and his success story. Like, no one really thought he would amount to what he amounted to. So I would say, or would you agree perception might be like?
Yeah, I think so. I think when I was younger, it was a lot of ego too. I was like, fuck these guys, they have no idea how good I am. Like, they have terrible scouts, and every single team in the OHL hired terrible scouts because they couldn't pick me up in the first round. But that was like, I think that was more of an ego thing when I was younger. It wasn't like a mature, like, I can work my way out of this. It was more like, I'm fucking better. Like, I would look at kids I got drafted and be like, I'm fucking better than him. I'm fucking better than him. Okay. You know, that type of thing. And I'd be like, and I'm going to prove them wrong. Whereas now I look at it and I'm like, I didn't do it like because of that. I think that drove me a bit, but I did it because I really wanted to play there, and I think that was a stepping stone for me. I thought that was the right stepping stone for me to then be able to live out my dream playing the national.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so now the opposite. What was your best time? What's the best experience of hockey that you can remember?
Fuck, dude, that's a good one. It's been rough lately for me, honestly. Last season was my first year of university, and school was really tough for me, and I got injured, so that was a tough year.
Oh yeah.
And the year before ended with a little suspension, so that was tough. But that was actually a really fun year, honestly. I'd say my 20-year-old, my last year junior, was really fun. And really,
that was with them, right?
Yeah,
that's where we ended together. Yeah,
and it was really important to me and to my life because my 20-year-old year, I started off with a junior AAA. It's called in Quebec City. I started off in a junior AAA team in Quebec City, and they only practiced like 2 times a week, and I was going to like a local gym to work out in Quebec City, and I was just kind of like, what am I doing here? Like only practicing 2 times a week. I had played in the Q prior where it's like super professional. And, but I got to be the assistant captain, and, it was my first time ever getting a letter. So I was super proud of it.
There's the confidence.
And and, I was like, fuck, like I might as well just try to put up as much points as I can. So I remember I was doing really well around Christmas time, like almost point per game. And, I was like, I got to get out of here because I'm just not getting enough reps, you know. Like I was only practicing 2 times a week. Like I gotta do more than this. So I remember coming here and we were at what's that Chinese Panda Express. We were eating at Panda Express with Flandy and Harley, and we were just talking about it as a joke, kind of, that I should go there, and then it just became a serious conversation, and then it turned into like
quick.
And then someone sent a text to their coach, and then next thing you knew, I was traded to Cochrane, and I moved in with Buffy and Flandy, and which was awesome. It was the first time ever that I got to play with like childhood friends, like in junior hockey.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Which is amazing. It doesn't happen for a lot of people.
Yeah, so it was very unique, and we had a great time there. And again, I thought I had been past my mistakes, and I slipped up, and that's when I realized like that being consciously aware is an everyday job.
Yeah.
So like everything you do, if you want to, like for me, if I want to play in the NHL, every decision that I make, I have to take that into account. It's not just like sometimes I want to play in the NHL. It's like all the time I want to play there.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's like sometimes I think that game was a bit different. That instant, like someone said the wrong things to me, and it blew, and it triggered me, and I dummied the guy, but it's it's unfortunate because that's something that you just got to control. Like if you want to be a professional, then you be a professional 24/7, I think. So I learned from that also. So I think that whole year as a whole started off great. I was doing really well. And then I kind of ruined it for myself. And then, you always learn from those, man.
Yeah.
You always learn from those. That was a very important year for me.
And that's kind of ironic because I remember in the USHL combines, USHL combines, when me and Nico went.
Yeah.
I don't remember if you were there.
I think I went the next year with
that was.
But I don't know. Do you remember the fight you got into?
That was similar, but that one was worse.
That one got you kind of in front of the Chicago Steel coach.
Guy gets in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that helped me or hurt me. I don't know if anyone found out about that. I don't know.
I don't remember. I might have to cut that out.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine.
Well, because I remember you telling me that the Chicago Steel coach came up to you.
I was 14, I was not 14, was I? Yeah, 14.
Yeah, we were young.
Yeah, I don't remember if the Steel coach came up to me or not, but I do remember that this kid, someone on our team in the USHL Combine got a penalty, and the ref called me, and I didn't get the penalty, and the kid taking the penalty shot went and scored.
But you sat in the box.
Yeah, and I sat in the box, and it wasn't my penalty, and the kid went for the penalty shot, and it was the end of the game, because when you get a penalty, it's a penalty shot. the combine, and he scored, and he points at me.
He comes back and sellies and he points at me.
I remember hearing this story.
He doesn't just point at me, but he just fucking points at me.
Disrespected you.
He points at me, and he keeps his finger pointed at me for so long that I'm just like,
fuck this kid.
Fuming.
Yeah.
Do we know who this kid is? I feel like I remember.
No idea. And you know, it's crazy. Like, I went right into the
room. Wait. I'm standing outside, and he comes rushing by me, and he's like, "Yo, come with me." So I'm like, "All right, where are we going?" So now we go into the locker room.
I go into the other. Wait.
I was with you. Yeah, we went to the other.
I didn't
teams.
get undressed first.
No, you got pretty much undressed. Yeah, you got completely undressed.
I was
waiting outside.
I got undressed, and I went to the other team's locker room, and I went in there. And I'm
just watching this all go down.
And I said, "Who's that kid?" I went in there. I said, "Who's the fucking kid that pointed at me just now?" And everyone's like looking at the kid, and I just grabbed the kid, and
they just started going.
And then something happened from there,
bro. Everyone was just watching.
Yeah,
I'm like, Nico, no.
yeah, and I lost it. And you know what? And these are like things that's just like, you know. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about it, but at the same time, I think I should be talking about it because it's these are things that I've learned from, and like I've said, like some people are like, well, you did it again when you were 20. well, that's what I'm trying to say is like you got to be consciously aware of all the mistakes and lessons you've learned all the time. Like you got to be consciously aware of it all the time, and that's like the biggest lesson, and that's the lesson that I learned after I repeated the same mistake, which is that one. My 20-year-old year is you got to be consciously aware all the time of like what you want to do and all the lessons that you've learned, because like repeating mistakes happens constantly.
And I would say to learn that at 20 years old is more of an accomplishment than like a failure. So
you got to make a lot of mistakes to learn that, I think.
And I would say to anyone listening, don't go out and make mistakes purposely now to become Nico Blachman.
We're legit giving you the
tools to work with here. This is
sauce.
Like when you're younger and, you know, people tell you like their experiences and you just don't listen to it. It's hard to look back on. I think JT Barnett posted something about that the other day. Like, one of his things, if he can go back and tell his younger self, was that to listen to people's advice and take the help of other people, because like it or not, you're not that special, and a lot of people are going through very similar things, and to be closed-minded and to not just accept someone's help or like just to try to learn off someone else's experience, I would say to try to, and you know, save yourself.
Always. I think now the way I look at things is everyone's a teacher. Yeah. You can learn from everyone. You can learn I can learn from anyone. Like I can learn from a garbage man. Like I don't know how to pick up garbage. I don't really recycle. I don't know about all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people know shit that you don't know, and maybe that garbage man used to be a fucking football player and he can help me with my hand-eye coordination. Right. Like you never know who people are and shit. And at the end of the day, like, you know who you are. Like, don't be a prick. Like, don't be egotistic. Is it egotistic or egoistic?
Egotistic.
Egotistic guy. I recently just got this tattoo. It's ego crossed out, because I think I used to have a giant ego. I think I still have an ego. I just don't think it's as big, and I'm working on deleting it.
Yeah.
But I know I used to have a giant ego, and I think it's closed many doors for me. And I think it closes many doors for many people when you think you're better than other people, and when you just think you're the shit. Like, yeah,
it's the confidence over cockiness kind of mindset.
Yeah, and you build confidence through hard work, not by telling yourself you're a fucking beauty.
Yeah, and you see the type of person who carries themselves very arrogantly and has to like prove that they're big and macho. It usually kind of scares you less, because if they're trying to prove that to you, maybe they're not really like that. And those like just like silent like killers, like
100%. I'm always like, obviously I guess people know now that I'm a hockey player. I've been nonstop talking about hockey, but I fought a lot, and I fight a lot in hockey, like legally within the rules, without getting in trouble.
That's how it goes.
And I always say, like, when a guy's barking at me, when a guy's talking a lot at me, and I talk a lot, so it's weird, but I think that's something that I'm going to change now in my game, or I hope to change.
Yeah.
But I do like getting under people's skin. No, I do.
It's part of the
like
game,
chirping,
I feel
because
like,
I love chirping, but I will say I'm more scared of the guys that don't chirp me, especially because usually you know who's the tough guy on the other end. You kind of know who you're fighting. And for the most part, not all the time, but for the most part, you know who the tough guy is there. So if you do something, you know he's going to come, not just anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you know that someone's a tough guy and he's just like not saying anything, it's like, whoa.
Like, what is he thinking?
Yeah. Like, is he just not worried at all right now?
Right. It throws you off even more than him trying to get under your skin.
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes guys say the right thing and it is like, whoa, I hope he doesn't do that.
Well, I would say that's part of that antagonizing play or that antagonizing role. Like, you do have to, like a Brad Marchand, like get under people's skin, and like that throws certain people off their game who don't have their mindset dialed in. Like, you can really utilize that as a tool. I would say it gets out of hand when you, like in my experience, when I'm chirping way too much when I used to play, like I just forgot even what I was doing. I was like, when I'm at the bar or something, like, am I just yelling at people? Am I trying to just literally fight anyone right now? And you just kind of get out of your realm. But if that's part of your drive and that's part of your game, definitely utilizing it.
Yeah, it's balance though. It's balance.
Life is balance.
I've gotten like that too, where like I'm just like I'm having a bad game, and like I'm just like I need to fight.
Yeah. So you trying to not fight as much anymore now?
No, I want to fight. I love fighting.
Okay.
I think fighting is a huge part of hockey. I think those guys that say they want to take it out of their game, I think they're snowflakes. I think hockey's.
So if you love fighting so much, why have you never thought about doing like MMA or anything like that?
Well, because I want to play in the. I don't like fighting off the ice. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I enjoy fighting everywhere, but when it comes
right
to,
here, right now,
no,
you gotta teach us some
when
stuff.
When it comes to like really what I love to do, it's we're down 2-1, like
you like to be that motivated.
I make a big hit. One of their guys comes for me, and it's the toughest guy in the league, hopefully. And I shock him, and I just dummy him with like quick switch, dummy him with a left. My whole team's fired up. Yeah, we come back and win the game 3-2.
And it was you that got that momentum shift.
Momentum.
That's what I love. That's why I love fighting. That's why I love. Yeah, that's why I love fighting. It's not because I love so much beating the shit out of someone. Although if he is chirping me, it helps me want to beat the shit out of him. But if he's not, like, it's got to be that right situation that will really fire me up. Like, if we're down 2-1 and someone asks me to go, like, he should be scared, because that's like my dream situation, you know?
That's game 7, like, breakaway for you, right? You're just getting after it.
Yeah.
Damn. Man, I got to let you know that I know I've never told you this before, but bro, like everything that you've been through and just seeing how far you've gotten, bro, I actually have so much admiration for you. Like, seriously, bro. Because it's, bro, it's literally.
Don't even get me started on CJ.
Nico is one of those people you build off of.
Bro, seriously though, like seriously, it's pretty amazing. Like the fact that you're still out there, like chasing your dream, bro. Not a lot of people can say that.
With the same consistent dream, because like I would say to that point, I'm still chasing my dreams, but my dream has changed, or my goals in life have changed, but I still want that same happiness. I just have a different realm of getting it. But to see, like, to be able to look back at that little kid self, that like 5-6-year-old kid self, and be like, yeah, I'm still fucking doing this shit, man. Like, I admire that. Like, I have goosebumps thinking about you still have that chance to, you know, like lift the Stanley Cup and like kiss that fucking thing. Like, I think that's every young hockey player's dream. And like, I just admire. It makes me happy to think that like one of my best friends is still being able to chase that. And another one too, Flandy, if you're listening, it's awesome to have you there too as well.
Yeah, man. So now I do have a question. If you could go back in time and tell little Nico, that, like, maybe you should do this different or do that different, do you have anything you would tell him?
Yeah, I'd say just keep focusing on the main goal, which is to play in the National Hockey League.
So pretty much what you're doing now.
Yeah. Just keep just every day, like.
So you wouldn't change anything.
Every day. No, I wouldn't change anything, except I think if I would have done that, I would have saved myself from making a lot of bad decisions, because like if I would have just been so locked in, like when I was younger, and I missed every single party for a hockey game, and every single everything for hockey, and I didn't give a fuck about that shit because I was just like hockey. And I think when I got older, I was kind of like, oof, I kind of like sex, and like, you know, like, ooh, I kind of like this too, and like I have fun, you know, I don't know, doing this, and then it's like, well, fuck, dude, these are like such little satisfactions where like playing in the national, like nothing's gonna give you the satisfaction that reaching that main goal will give you.
Yeah.
So I'd say I'd tell myself that, hey, little Nico, nothing is gonna give you better satisfaction than accomplishing your dream. Yeah. Nothing. So don't switch lanes.
Yeah. Well, because I recall that podcast that you had with Flandy.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how it was pretty amazing how he didn't jump around to all these different places, kind of took his time. Yeah. And was like the best on the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you need to tell yourself, because that was I feel like one of my things that when I was playing hockey, one of the big things, I was always trying to make it to the top level as possible. And when you were talking about with Flanny, I was like, man, I had that mentality. And I feel like that burned me out. Yeah. Like it burned me out. I remember Rob Tallis telling me, CJ, just keep playing at the level you're supposed to, like be like U16 instead of going to U18 and you know, like
it's so hard to not compare yourself to everyone in that time.
I wouldn't say it's a regret of mine because, I mean, look, now I have a podcast and I have all these NHL players on it because I played with them, because I played at the highest levels.
And you're still on your way to the NHL.
Yeah, and maybe I'd be further along my career if I would have, instead of at 16, 17 playing major, junior, and USHL, taking a step back, playing in a lower league and lighting it up, and then going when I was more ready. Maybe it would have been better for my career. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and I don't know, and the friendships that I made, and just everything that I've been through. It's a super unique story. It's the reason why I have an arm sleeve and a leg sleeve, because I have so much fucking shit. That already happened to me and that I already been through, that I gotta just. Sometimes I get shit to remind myself. Like I have a lot of shit that's just like reminders, you know, reminders.
Yeah.
I would say everything you go through, I mean, has its purpose. So anything you're going through at that time, it has its reason. It's gonna end up, for hopefully most of the cases, a great reason behind it. Like always, we were talking about, like your lowest lows always are gonna, if you look back on, they're gonna build to your like highest accomplishments.
Yeah, you remember when we were in Cochrane and I got in that incident, and I thought my
right around mine as well.
I thought my hockey career was over,
done,
and I was crying. I don't know if I cried in front of you guys. Probably
no. It was. I mean, we're obviously we're very close, like brothers. We've been living together.
Yeah. So I was crying.
We definitely had some heart to hearts.
I thought my whole career was over. I was like, man, everything I did, you know, to ruin it, like with like this stupidest thing, you know. And I remember like we started rapping and shit, like just to do something, because they had me locked in. They didn't let me. This place.
This was the original lockdown before COVID.
This place was in the middle of nowhere with like one restaurant called fucking restaurant, basically. and
the bar called bar.
Yeah. And nothing to do. Freezing cold outside. The only thing you can do there is go to the rink, work out, and skate. I was living at that rink doing extra workouts and shit.
Yeah,
just trying
crazy.
to stay away from home, stay at the rink. And they were like, you can't come to the rink until we make our decision. You have to stay home. You can't be with the boys. You have to stay home. They didn't make their decision for like 11 days.
It was crazy.
Which I remember because we were FaceTiming during that time.
So for 11 days, I was like, am I going to be able to play again this season? Is my hockey career over? Is this going to become, you know, a huge deal? Like, what's going to happen? All this. And, like it took them 11 days to be like, get out of here. And then I, that was such a depressing time for me. And luckily, luckily that wasn't the end of it. And it's not the end of it. But dude, that was a tough time. Like I really had to take a deep look in the mirror and be like, if you ever get another chance at playing hockey again, like just make sure you just play. Try to be as humble as possible. Mm-hmm. And if people say shit to you, like just try to eat it. Just try to eat it, because sometimes like what people say to you is just a reflection of who they are.
Yeah. So do you have any advice? Like, what would, after going through all these experiences and stuff, do you have any advice for that young kid out there that's about to start getting, like, he's about maybe
fucking young kid out here better have a notepad filled with notes. I'm getting so much advice.
Yeah. What would be your one takeaway from where you're at in your life and every experience? And it's hard. It's got to be very hard to define you, but every experience you've been through and every emotion you've felt, like, what could you tell your younger self again, or someone out there listening, to maybe help ease what they're going through or to help them with their challenges and reach their goals?
Yeah, I think I don't know if everybody knows what they want in order to make them happy.
Yeah.
I think I'm lucky that I know what makes me happy. But I think everyone has kind of an idea, low key, of like what their dream life is like. Yeah. And I'm not talking like mansion, like
materialistic.
I'm talking
things.
like what are you doing every day?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing every day in your dream life? Like, oh, you're traveling a lot? Well, you can do that shit if you're poor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like not in the same
in the same realm, but you can travel somewhere. It's all perception.
You can do it. So like for me, it's like live that, like start now living that happy life. Like living like your happy life. Start now. And if for some people it's not realistic to stay broke, like, then fuck, dude, grind, get a side job and do, like, look at these guys. Like, these guys both have jobs and now they started a podcast. CJ has a fucking TikTok. Fucking Boffy has like a full-on editing page. Like, these guys are and they're bringing in some money, like, working also. So like, you don't, like, there's no excuse really. Like, fucking, if you think you don't have time, wake up earlier. If you think you don't have time, check your screen time. If you think you don't have time, like, you have time.
Make time.
You're a clown.
I love it.
You have time.
So you just say, get after your goals and take that first step and make time.
Do it. When I started a podcast, I would look in the mirror and be like, who the fuck do you think you are starting a podcast? No one wants to listen to you. And now like I'm 60 episodes deep and I still get nervous.
63.
Yeah. And I still get nervous. But it's like more like, I didn't know like NHL guys would come on. When I first started my first episode, I wanted it to be an NHL guy, and he said no. Yeah. Because like, there's no
right off the bat, no way.
Yeah, there's nothing there, you know. Like he said, maybe when you're a couple episodes deep. So, you know, like it's like, it's just like just start what you want to start, because at the end of the day, it's like what you think about yourself, not so much like what if I actually cared about what everyone thinks about me and I want it to be really cool, I probably wouldn't have told my dream on here. Probably wouldn't have been like, hey, I'm 22 and I don't have a pro game yet, but my dream is to play in the National Hockey League and I'm still chasing it. Sounds kind of off, but I actually don't give a fuck if because
you're battling. Life is, you're not playing against anyone else. You're constantly playing against your own self. So you're battling against yourself. Every time you don't want to do something, like, there's no cameras following you saying you have to do these things. Like, it's a voice in your head that's telling you no, and a voice in your head that's trying to help you reach your goals.
And I think when people are unhappy or like depressed and whatnot, very real. I think it's because they feel like a fraud. Like, they know what they want to do and they're just not doing it.
Yep.
Like, and they really just have to take that step and do it.
Just fucking do it.
Like Nike says, I mean, just honestly, it's hard. And I get in that argument with people. It's like, but once that light like just switches, like, you just take that action, easy. You take that first step, and it just happens, and it gets the momentum rolling. And to your point, to kind of wrap things together here, when you're saying every time you do your podcast and you still feel those nerves to do it and you get after it and you do it, it's to that point with the cold shower and the point to life, like, you're going to be nervous, but you have to conquer your mind, because you're not battling the cold water. You're not battling the podcast. You're not battling the coaches that are saying no to you. You're battling yourself. So it's just perception and staying on track, taking that first step. And I would say just to live that life, just to be happy in that realm.
Yeah, I agree. And also your circle, surround yourself with people that believe in you. And I want to tell a quick story about CJ's dad real quick, if we have time.
Yeah.
So CJ's dad, you're going to leave?
No, the mic, the camera.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
So
that's perfect time. Wait. Oh, actually, yeah. Ours just stopped recording. For some reason, it only records for about a half hour.
All right.
I got to figure out.
Are we too long right now?
No, we're perfect. No, we're perfect timing. We're about 50 minutes right now. So we're trying to get about an hour, like an hour 10.
Oh, great. Awesome. Yeah. So I got a lot more. Cool.
No, we're gonna wrap it up after this story, only because
really?
he's got to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So all right, we're good. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're gonna have you come back on, 100%. So
yeah. So before we go, I just want to say this quick story about CJ's dad, my uncle Cardi, who passed away.
Shout out.
Yeah. Shout out to my uncle Cardi. So this is like where I'm getting at with this story. What I'm trying to say is surround yourself with like a circle that believes in you and your dreams. Like if you got people in your circle that low key don't believe in you, like fucking cross those people out.
Definitely.
Because you only want to surround yourself with people who believe in you. When you do that, then it's just like easier to believe in yourself. If people are always telling you you're gonna make it, it's easier to tell yourself you're gonna make it. So going into this story, so my uncle Cardi is one of the few guys in my life, other than my dad, that always told me that I'm a great hockey player. I played like third, fourth line growing up everywhere I played. Squirt A, Pee Wee Triple A, Pee Wee Shattuck. Everywhere I played, never a star.
Yeah.
And my uncle Cardi always, you're a great player. Like, you're so much better than these guys. Like you can do this, all this stuff. He's feeding me this, Yeah. And that's why I loved Uncle Cardi so much. Like, he was always pumping my tire. I look back and I was like, man, of course I loved being around this guy. That's when I felt like I was gonna make it.
Yeah,
just the right mindset.
So oh fuck, I'm so sorry about that.
The first spit stain on the dining room table, man.
Let's go.
We're
gonna have to edit that out.
Love it. I love it.
So for me, like, that's why I always wanted to be around him, and because he believed in me. And it's crazy because when it was Cardi's 1-year anniversary from passing away, I had a game. I had a game the next day, and on the day of his passing away anniversary, I said I'm gonna go get a tattoo for Uncle Cardi today.
Yeah.
So I went to the tattoo shop, and I got these angel wings on my back, because he always had my back when I came to believing in myself. The real backstory is that I was like 11 games deep with 0 points.
Yeah.
And I was just struggling to like believe in myself. I was kind of at a very low point, and I was in the season, and I was just like, fuck, man, like am I good? Types, like, really doubting myself.
Mm-hmm.
I went and got this tattoo of my Uncle Cardi, and the next day I got my first assist. The next day,
that.
And I remember, and I as soon as it went in, I was like, no fucking way you just did that. No fucking way you just did that.
Yeah.
You just like, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, holy shit, that just goes to show how much, like, when you surround yourself with people that believe in you, like, it's just so much easier to believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you can just act.
Yeah.
And shit happens. Like, I wasn't believing in myself, and I got this tattoo, and it wasn't because I got the tattoo, but it was because since I got the tattoo, I was just thinking about him all night and the next day, and then it just fucking happened. Yeah. And I was thinking about him before the game, like what he used to tell me before games, and his New York fucking accent, like telling me, you gotta go out there, you gotta fucking outwork these, I do it so bad, but like, I just pictured him telling me like my pregame speech, and it's my best game of the season.
Yeah.
So what an amazing story.
I love that story.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with people who believe in you, and then even when they're gone, if you can look back at how they treated you and what they used to say to you, you can feel that energy and you can use it to your advantage.
Definitely.
There we go.
It's amazing, and
I'm sorry about the spit. Fuck.
It's that's what we need. This is the dining room. Or
exactly.
What you want to call it.
Get a little waitress.
Yeah, we'll have the waitress come over and wipe it up. Yeah, it's all good.
We'll edit her in. We'll draw her in. Whatever your proportions you like.
Yeah, it's perfect. That's perfect. All right. So I think that's it for this podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. You want to shout out anything of yours?
Anything else to say here?
No, I just want to give a quick shout out to these two guys. I'm looking forward to see where this podcast goes.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, bro.
I'm just looking forward to it. Hopefully, I'll be able to come back on.
Well, it's been a pleasure. 100%. We're gonna need a episode.
Yeah, we definitely are gonna need some more stories. I think I have much more questions to get to.
Me too.
So maybe a part 2 on its way. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's a pleasure to have you out here. Really couldn't think of a better first guest.
And actually, so we're gonna do this thing where we want our guests to come on and write their dream up on this wall.
Okay.
So we're putting it out there, bro. We want to fucking like, so here you don't have to get up. You can write it like low, high, wherever you want to put it.
Right on
you
that
can take
wall.
off the headphones, whatever makes it easier. But let's fucking let the world know that like,
put your dreams out there, manifest them.
This motherfucker's going to the NHL.
This is the Nico Blachman vision board right now.
Exactly, bro. And it's been such a pleasure having you on.
It really has. Like,
I'll write it the way I like to write it.
Like we were saying, like couldn't picture just a better first guest and just a great guy who's battled through a ton of adversity and someone to share some terrific stories. So I would say to anyone listening that takes anything out of this today is like, keep following your dreams. I would say first, define what your dreams are and define what success is to you. And then once you have that kind of layout, just live that life and take that first step. And everything, just remember that everything that happens, like you can perceive it in any reality you want. So if something in a quote unquote terms bad is happening to you, it's only because you're perceiving it in that way. You can really control whatever it is you want to control out there by controlling your mindset. And 100%. I think that's something you can really take out of this today.
Yep. So what does it say?
So this is what I write on my board. My dream is to work my way into the National Hockey League.
Let's fucking go.
I love that.
Yo,
get the claps, round of applause.
Let's get the claps, a round of applause for Nico Blachman, man. It's been a pleasure. All of his social medias and his podcast, we'll be sure to link it below. For people that are listening. It's Nico. What is Nico Blachman Fitness?
Nico Blachman _fitness
and
Nico Blachman and the BuzzPod _ I'm not on social media too much, honestly, trying to stay away from it, but the BuzzPod, definitely use that one. The other one's not so much lately. I'm focus
on the dream.
All right, man, it's been a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Love you too.
Much love, brother.